Okay, guys, so I've been having a lot of trouble with earwigs. It actually started about a month ago, and I should have done something about it sooner, but I didn't. I tried diatomaceous earth because I saw that there were flea beetles in the garden. I did do some neem oil spraying, but I realize now that it was earwigs all along that was the issue. So I did set up some traps 2 nights ago, and I cleared them out this morning, and there were literally hundreds of earwigs in every trap. So I decided to do a quick little tutorial for you guys that are also having trouble with earwigs so that you can hopefully get it under control. I do want to say one quick thing though, that earwigs are actually not a totally unbeneficial insect. They do help eat aphids and other soft-bodied insects. However, if you have too many of them, an infestation like I have where they're just ripping all of your leaves into what looks like lace, it's too many earwigs for the property, and so you need to get rid of them before they get rid of all your plant. Okay, so the materials that I'm using is actually 2 styrofoam bowls. I think I got these in a pack from the Dollar Tree. I don't actually really know why I have these. I may have bought them for this purpose last summer. I know I used these last summer, but I didn't use them in this way, and I wasn't as successful because they kept blowing away. So I have a couple of little tricks for you, but first we're going to get them set up. So you're going to have your bottom container, and then this is going to be your lid. All you need to do is take a pen or something sharp and just go along the sides. Try to go along the lip and just poke a hole, just like that. And I do, every couple of inches all along those edges. Maybe you don't really even need this many, but that's just how many I do. Okay, so you got holes all the way around the edges. Okay, and so now you're going to tape your lid into your bowl. And so I'm actually using some white duct tape. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be white duct tape. Any kind of tape will be fine. What I found is if I don't tape it, I don't have something to kind of hold it firmly, then the lids can blow off. You can also use a rock to hold the top down. If you have like little rocks or anything, heavy enough to hold a styrofoam lid down, if you live in an area like I do where it's really windy, then you want to do that. So all I'm doing is starting on the top with a little piece of tape. See, it's only, maybe an inch or so, and then just folding it down. And I'm actually doing it at 3 points. So it kind of opens just a little tiny bit like a clamshell. Okay. So each time you want to bait the trap, I actually watched a couple of different videos previously where people had used different concoctions, and I decided to combine them because I really wanted to get rid of these earwigs fast, and it seemed to work. So that's what I'm going to do again. So I have a tiny, tiny bit of peanut butter on the end of my finger, and I'm going to go all along the inside of the lid, right along those holes. And I'm just going to scrape a tiny little bit of the peanut butter just right there. And that just helps attract them even more to the container. I've seen where people have used like tuna cans or sardine cans with the juice left over. I'm plant-based, so I don't have those kinds of things in my house. So this is what works for me. So I didn't do it around every single hole. I don't think that's that important, but just kind of go all the way around. Even with that small opening, you can get your finger in there just a tiny little bit. And then you're going to bait the traps with oil, just cheap vegetable, canola, whatever you have, and soy sauce. A lot of recipes say 50-50, but what I did was about 2-to-1 ratio, 2 oil to 1 soy sauce. So I just have this little measuring cup kind of mixed up together. So you have your vegetable oil, and that's the soy sauce that bows to the bottom. And I'll take it with a spoon out to the garden. I'll dig down into the soil and set the bowl down so that the edge of the container is at soil level. And then I'll just whip this up a little bit so that it's not all oil and not all soy sauce. Pour it in there and then scoot the soil up along the edges so that the insects will crawl up the soil into the hole, and then they just fall right in and they can't get out. Okay, so we're actually out in my garden. I'm going to show you how we place the traps in the garden. This is one of the beds that we had a lot of damage. If you can see these pepper plants, so you can see there's a lot of pest damage on those. And I actually had some parsley growing here. It was really, really big. I pulled it up and so many earwigs crawled out, and I realized I had created a nice little home for them. So we're going to get rid of them now. Anyway, so what I did is you just dig down the depth of your container so that it's basically flush with the ground. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of dig that down. And then here is our actual liquid that we're going to pour in. So we're just going to kind of stir that up a little bit so that each trap gets a fairly even distribution of the liquid. Okay, so you're just going to open up the trap while it's in place. It doesn't have to be all the way in place. That's fine. I put 3 pieces of tape on here, so it's kind of hard to open, but just open it up enough and then just use your little container and just pour a little bit of liquid in there. So if you just look into it, you just want to make sure that the bottom of the container has liquid in it. Does it? Okay. So you can just go ahead and close the lid. If you don't tape it or you want just extra security, you can just put a little rock on top. And then all I do is just take the soil and just kind of bring it up around the edges of the container. That will just encourage them to come crawl up, go into those little holes, and then fall into the liquid. So there you go. Now it is set up. My son says that he thinks it looks like a garden mine. So we'll get rid of those earwigs in no time at all. Okay, so that's your simple earwig trap. Put them anywhere in your garden where you have noticed a lot of damage. I have multiple beds in my garden, so I'm actually going to put 1 trap in every bed and see if I can get everything under control. Please comment down below. Let me know how it worked out for you. If you have any feedback or suggestions on things that have worked for you, I would love to hear about them. Until next time, thanks for enjoying the experience of life with me. Thank you.